February 8th, Sunday. Beautiful day. The temperatures around 70, 75 degrees. It's sunny, beautiful. I figured there's very little chance of any other freeze or anything. We are north of Houston, I'd say about 60 miles north of Houston. So I figured let's just get started with the gardening. So I have these beds. I'm not going to invest too much money on buying seeds and whatnot. I used to do a lot of organic gardening. I had like almost a half-acre organic garden at one point. So things changed. I had to give that up only because I had to manage other properties. So in any case, so now I figured let me first get this raised, almost like raised beds. These are nice. You can put the water in there and the water stays underneath. Doesn't, it lets it drain. So first thing I'm gonna do is I got sick of buying cilantro in the stores, and they don't taste good, and secondly they stay in the refrigerator for too long. They're just no good. It should be easy to grow. Only problem in Texas is they will grow, but as soon as the heat starts coming in, they bolt. In other words, you won't get the leafy greens anymore. You're going to get flowers and they become bitter. You can eat that. So what I did is, this is a technique I used before. I don't know if you can see. I take the coriander seeds and I put it in a mortar and pestle and slowly, don't keep banging on it, but slowly crush it. And most of those seeds, they're going to separate into two pieces. And I've had a lot of success before growing it that way. So that's how I'm going to grow it. But this time, I'm going to do it in this raised bed. And knowing very well that as soon as the heat comes, they're going to bolt. And, that's the nature of cilantro or plants in general. Veggies. So as we progress, we'll start doing other things. Okra, it grows. Just could be 200 degrees. I think okra still will grow. Eggplants are the same way. So we'll start on that slowly. But I figured let's just do the herbs. And I also have some flowers that I'm gonna sow the seeds today. Hopefully they're gonna germinate. Flower seeds usually take a little longer to germinate. The herbs and whatnot, you'll start seeing them come out fairly soon. I'm gonna do another this thing. That's gonna be garlic chives. These are very good. In any case, so let me get some. So I have basically a garden soil mix here, and on top of this, all I'm going to do is just put in like half an inch of, let me see where I put it. Hang on, I gotta go get it. So here it is, the seed starting mix. Normally I don't buy these bags, they're way too expensive. So what I do is I really take the garden soil that's here. I made a sieve, and I'll show that later on in another video. And I use the sieve to take out all these, you see these I guess almost like mulch like things, like pieces of ground up wood all of that's going to come out. So all you're going to be left with really is this soft soil. And then I have vermiculite. I mix the vermiculite with it, and I have some organic fertilizer that I mix, and that becomes my potting mix. But now I don't have that, and I'll have to go take care of that this evening. I actually left my sieve, my container in another property. So I have to get all of that, and once I have that, I'll show you how I make my mix, because I'm going to need a lot of it. I'm going to fill up a lot of these. I have, let me see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of these. So to start out with, that. The handle broke on this. That's something with these plastic things. If you don't keep it inside, then normally, after one season, they'll break off, because it's outside in the elements. Anyway, so here it is. I'm gonna put not much, just a little bit of the, maybe quarter-inch. If you are wealthy enough and you think that, but you see this white stuff, that's vermiculite. All it is this soil is very, very soft. Well, I'll show you. I mean, I made a sieve myself, and it's a whole lot cheaper to make the seed starting soil using. Just have to find a place where you can get vermiculite. Vermiculite, I don't know, for some reason, is not easily available. I don't know the reason behind it. But I have a giant bag of it. We bought them like 2-3 years ago, and we don't need much. All it is basically, I think, I don't know, but maybe it's some form of, they look like styrofoam, pieces of styrofoam, but really don't know. So yeah, that's basically ready now. Now what we'll do is take the seeds and start sprinkling them all over. Maybe save a little bit for the next bed. We'll mix it with the, spread the seed. I like to spread the seeds evenly so that, look, I mean, some of it may not even grow, and some of it will grow. As I said, I've had good success with this method before, so that's why I break the coriander seeds before I put it in. So what I did was now I'm going to gently just tap all the seeds underneath, and then spread a little bit more of soil on top. It doesn't need too much, really. And keep in mind, I mean, I'm keeping this in an area that's only gonna, it's gonna receive very early morning sun. Now once the seeds start germinating, that's when I still may not move them to full sun. They don't need full sun, to be honest with you. In Texas, the way the temperature is and how bright the sun is, these things actually prefer a little bit of shade like this. But we'll see. We'll monitor how this bed does, or the others. So now, this thing's ready. It's as simple as that. And you'll see, when it does grow, and if it grows, because you follow the method. Sometimes they grow, sometimes they don't. It all depends on the seed. This coriander seed that I'm using is basically coriander seed that you grind up to put in cooking and whatnot. So it's nothing special. I didn't buy this in little packets or anything from Home Depot or Lowe's. It's just coriander seed that's used mostly in Indian cooking. So it came in a big bag. That's why I said sometimes it's hit or miss. Will it grow? Will it not grow? I don't know, but we'll see. So now that the seeds have been spread, I want to, give it some gentle watering. And preferably you want to use a mist, like that. You see? Any of the seeds that you see, doesn't have any soil on top of it, just sprinkle tiny bits of soil on top of it. That's all it's going to need. It doesn't need a whole bunch of soil. You put too much soil, that seed's going to have a hard time sprouting. So, it does need the soil on top to get covered, but you don't need to put a ton of soil on top of the seeds. I'll tell you something. If you have everything planned out right, and it may look a little disorganized, but if all the ingredients are there and you plan it out right, it's not that difficult. Now, you can't guarantee the results, but you just do the best you can and just observe, and that's how I do it. Hopefully, you'll just stay with me. Today we just put the seeds in, at least for the cilantro, and I'm going to follow the same procedure. I might record it a little bit. I might do half cilantro and half of the garlic chives in one of them. Maybe why not record it? Okay. So let me move things around a little bit, and then we'll. So here is the next container. Already has the dirt. You don't need to throw this dirt out. I mean, you can use it year after year as long as you add a little bit of fertilizer to it. It does follow it. Actually, let me just go and get the fertilizer. I have some organic fertilizer. And we'll get into fertilizer one of these days. I did some research on fertilizer as well, which hopefully will help you if you're into gardening, or and if you guys are experts and you follow a different process, just comment and let me know and help me. I actually couldn't find the bags of fertilizer I had. So I'm gonna just, this particular bag, I'm not gonna put the fertilizer in. I think I'm gonna add more of this garden soil, which should have fertilizer in it already. I added in all this garden soil. And I don't know where this came out of. I think there's a notch here. This is just to hold it, but it's broken anyways. So yeah. Now we'll just sprinkle some of the seed starter soil. As I said, you don't need much, maybe a quarter-inch. So quarter-inch on the bottom. It's almost like making a bed for the little comfy bed for these seeds to lay in. So that's pretty much ready. So now we're gonna take, look at this. Look, already have bees in there. You see the bee? I don't know if you can see the bee. They're already in, which is a good thing. We're gonna do half of this with the coriander. Put a little bit more, the extra one here, and then the rest I'm gonna spread this chive. Let's see what happens. The bee, things that, the coriander, the cilantro is already grown. It's not. So here's the chive seeds are very, very tiny. So you know, before you know it, the whole package is in there. And normally what I do is, if I'm doing it from a packet, I will just use the packet as a label, so I know what's in there. You know what? Didn't have much of the chive, but I do have some zinnia. And what I'll do is I'll throw the zinnia in there too, and hopefully we'll get some zinnia plants out of this as well. The zinnias, they're slightly bigger. The seeds are, so you can kind of see it. And you know, I'll transplant these once the zinnias come. I'll take them out, let them like a couple of inches tall, maybe 3 inches, and then transplant. As I said, all of this is fun only if you have things organized. If you have to run all around, you have to be in the elements, doing it, just like anything else. And then you don't like to do it. The bee is still in there. I think the bee is here to stay. The bee is going to stay here. There's a lot of bikers out there now. I mean, this is biking time, I guess. I don't bike, but I've seen when the weather becomes like this, you know, it becomes biker's paradise. Anyway, so that's it for today. I might start doing some cleaning up on the beds. I might just create a start acquiring some footing for that, and I'll put it in another vlog soon. But as I said, just like before, you wanna miss this. That's not missed. That's missed, but that's not missed. Anyway, yeah. I like that. That's good. The bee's still in there.